That's bad.
I think it's about time we get back to work on the Pro Street Starfire. I wanted to leave the car as intact as possible the way I got it, so that we could get a for sure baseline on it and then slowly start making some upgrades and see what kind of changes they made. However, there was quite a few things that we absolutely had to change first. So that's why I completely rewired the car, which means that the time to actually start taking this car out and racing it is actually getting super close. But there are a few things left to do to it. One, need a new harness because I cut the old one out. It was from like 2002, I think, or 2000. It was really old and it was basically falling apart in my hand. So when I took the old seat out, took that with it. I need to seal off the firewall, which isn't a huge deal. But the big thing that we're going to be doing today is all new shocks, all four corners. So the front right now does not have anything in it. There you go. The rear still has some worn out, old school like competition engineering shocks. The bushings are completely gone. That's just the bolt in the eyelet of the shock bushing just bouncing around. So I'm gonna get in this thing, fire it up, bring it over here to this bay, get it on the lift, and then we'll start tackling this job. Oh yeah, she sounded pretty good for a little 327. Might not be the happiest though. Ah, man. Alright, add that to the list. Alright, so let's talk about the shocks real quick. Here are the rear shocks. You can see the part number right there, C2755. These are the same ones that we have on Jack Black, and they seem to work really well for what they are. And then the fronts, we got C2600. Which I'm hoping will work. Because we lowered the front of the car, so I'm hoping we don't have to make any modifications to like the lower mount for this to drop it down a little bit so that it doesn't bottom out. You know, one way to find out. Alright, so you can see the rear setup, how it has these coilovers. You can see now, hopefully. Not really. But you can see how worn out these bushings are. Like, they are completely gone. There we go. Look at that. That's both sides. So yeah, I think we can pull off one side at a time and not have to get the tranny jack under here. The front shocks will be super easy because I've already got the old ones out. So I just have to set those to whatever setting I want. On these, there's three settings. They're three-way adjustables. So for the front shocks, there's 90-10, 70-30, and 60-40, I believe. And then for the rear, there's 70-30, 60-40, and 50-50, I'm pretty sure. Which is awesome. They're a great budget shock for things like this, where you don't want to put a ton of money into it. The thing that sucks about it is to adjust them, you have to pull them off the car and physically compress them all the way and then turn it and you'll hear clicks. They're easy to adjust, but having to take them off the car is a bit of a bummer sometimes. So for right now, I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna start getting the shock thrown on. I just set this shock to 90-10. That's what we're gonna start with on it, see how it does. I still have to do the other side and put the bushings on it, and then we can throw it in the car, but I figured I'd let you guys know that a wrench for a grinder actually works perfect to get in here and make it a little easier to turn those. Alright, I got both shocks bolted in here. I was able to just drop some bolts from the top and tighten them down with the nuts. I should probably put washers on them. But now we can move on to the rear of the car. Here you can see what's left of the inner bushing. So now I'm just going to cycle these a few times to get any air out of them. And I'm going to set them to 50-50 and then toss them in the car. Ah. Shocks all bolted on. Now for the moment of truth. Do the front shocks bottom out? God, I hope. I think we're good. I think that deserves the Cactus Jack thumbs up of approvals. Alright, now I just got to investigate where it puked all the transmission fluid from. Obviously the transmission, but why? So after looking at everything with the transmission, there's no visible signs of any issues, and I can't pinpoint where it would have come from, but it was just all over this side of the transmission. And it didn't seem like it was a line cracked or leaking or anything. So I think for now I'm just going to check the fluid. Maybe it was over full. And we'll just kind of have to clean the transmission off as best we can and wait for it to do it again so that we can more accurately pinpoint where it's coming from. Alright, so I got a few more things buttoned up, got the firewall plates back on it. I'm going to put some grommets in the holes there to seal them up a little bit more. But I got the fan wired up finally, and my goodness, does this thing have a fan on it. Listen to this whole thing. That thing's like a goddamn windmill. Jeez. So the only thing I have left to do is finish bolting the seat down and run the wire for the tack. And then we are ready to test this thing, I believe. As long as the transmission doesn't give us any more issues, we can start fooling around with it a little bit, which is awesome. And naturally, it is absolutely pouring out today. So it's not going to be in this video. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, clicking the bell. If you guys want any merch, first link in the description below. It helps out the channel a bunch. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Peace.